but the war-related numbers were from burns, disabled, trauma-related injuries. I don't think these guys, the people dying from diabetic emergency or hypertensive or a stroke or of a heart attack, I don't think they are counting on those numbers. I don't think so. But that would be a Ministry of Health. I'm not sure, but I don't think so by the statistics that they were passing us, no. It's okay. No, you did, and then you can.
Where on earth do you think eventually there is going to be a place for the Gazan people to stay while Gaza is reconstructed? Is it West Bank? Is it Rafah? Is it Sinai? Is it international?
The Sinai is Egypt, you know, and it's a military zone. This is a very, you know, I'm not a political analyst here, bear in mind, this is my personal opinion. That's a very good question, and I don't think anyone knows the answer so far for that. Jordan doesn't want to open. Egypt doesn't want to open, because they know as soon as they open, they will never go back. If they leave, they will never go back. And that's what Gazans are saying, you see? So if they leave, they will never go back. It will happen the same, because it has happened before. And Gazan people are refugees from the occupied territories. So they know that when they leave, they will not come back. And Egypt is not, as far as I know, they are not willing to open. And I had a bad experience in Egypt, in Cairo airport. They treated me, they saw my stamp in the passport as a Rafah border. They were not treating me very well. They don't want refugees from Gaza. That was my feeling. My feeling was that they are not treating me very well, thinking that I'm a Palestinian coming out. And I have a Spanish passport. And still, you know, so yes, they support the cause. Yes, but it's going to be, it's another thing receiving. And this may not be appropriate to say, you know, and I cannot speak for Egyptians either. I can talk only about my experience in the airport. But Egypt is for Gaza, no, is supporting the cause. It's very well supporting the cause, but the government doesn't want to open. So I don't know where they will go. I have no idea. I don't know. You know, even if I don't know. That's the answer. I think it was.
Yeah, thank you so much for your talk. In a way, my question doesn't make any sense because numbers don't matter. I mean, each individual life is that individual life with their relatives and so on. But given the amount of destruction, we get these figures, and I know they come from Hamas and they're confirmed by the UN and so forth. But surely the numbers must be much greater than we've been told, because you see these areas completely blitzed, and there must be tens of thousands of people who are underneath these buildings.
Yeah. Yes, and there is a lot of people that we haven't been able to contact for days. All these people are probably dead as well. You know, I would say there is an underestimation of the casualties that we have. Yes, but we have no idea, because on top of, you don't have any network that works. You don't have any electricity to charge your phones anyway, so the contact with your family is quite restricted. And then if you're separated somehow in the middle area, how are you going to get to Rafah? I mean, we don't know. And there is a lot of people under the rebel, and there is no way of getting them out as well. So yeah, for sure. It's I've never seen a level of destruction like this. Never, ever, ever. And not having anywhere to go, you see? So that's what makes this conflict different. They have nowhere to go. They are, and from the sea, the ships are firing as well. And the way they fire at the fishermen, you know, what, why? What's the, it's just, they are from everywhere, you know. They are surrounded. I don't know.
Sorry that we have to, most of the questions are taking you back to Gaza. And it's obviously very deep. But one of the questions I'm going to ask you, did you ever see any evidence of Hamas resistance fighters in hospitals?
You know, we never seen anybody. Of course, they will be targeted for sure. Even the police men were not using their uniforms because they would be targeted for sure. So we never saw any fighters. We saw a couple of rockets going out every now and then. Like, let's say in a week we could see like 5 rockets going out, for sure. Yeah, but that was the only evidence that they were firing out something every now and then. But we never saw any, they were all, I don't know, underground, I don't know. I have no idea, but they were not in the hospital, they were not, and at one point we had like 15 men coming to our office, like banging in really, you know, quite in an aggressive way. And they were asking for our cars to collect the injured people from outside. And they wanted our cars and they were going to take our cars, and I explained to them that we didn't have the cars. Good job that the cars were in the nursing school on the other side. But these were not Hamas people, these were family members from people that wanted the dead and the injured people to bring them to the hospital. And I went to the nursing, to the hospital director at that time, and I said, can you give us any protection because we are here, quite vulnerable. And then he came to me and said, protection? How am I going to protect you if I cannot protect myself? You know, and he came to me outside his office, and he showed me like they broke like a table or something. You know, desperation is there and the needs are huge. So they were asking also for their cars as well, from the Ministry of Health cars as well. But they were not Hamas people. They were like desperate family members trying to get the injured to the hospital. How would you? You know, I never saw an Israeli soldier. I've heard them very close, but I've never saw them. They never came inside the hospital compound. At some point we thought they were coming, but they never came. So I never saw them. I heard them, and I heard the weapons and the artillery, but I never saw them. What I saw was the consequences of the attacks and the injured. That's what I saw. But I never saw like a direct attack because we couldn't leave the compound.
Do you feel like there was a lot of anger in Palestinian people for what was happening to them against Israelis or against the world?
That's a good question. There is hate, and that will affect generations and generations, for sure. They are extremely disappointed with the world